Hello again, welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are thinking about apples. We're stood in front of our lovely old Bramley apple tree, which has had a beautiful crop this year of apples. And what we're thinking about in this video is harvesting and then preserving our apples. We're going to be preserving our apples in several ways, by traditional storage methods, by dehydration and by freezing. And so after harvesting some apples, and I'm going to go up the tree in a minute to harvest some, we're then going to be thinking about preserving our beautiful apples so that we've got lots of apples later in the year, particularly for the February challenge, when we might be eating quite a lot of apples. Okay, so we've come across to this side of our Bramley apple tree, and we're going to do some harvesting. We have the ladder, the bucket and the hook, and Nadge is now going to go up the tree to harvest some apples.
Oh no!
No?
It's you.
It's me?
Yes.
I've got to go up and harvest the apples.
Yes.
I thought I was going to take the pictures. No,
It's your task. It's your
oh Lord. Okay, so I'm going to go up the tree then to harvest our beautiful Bramley apples. Do you think I'm safe?
Yeah.
Really is big, isn't it? Beautiful. There's some gorgeous apples this year. They really are.
Oh!
Yeah, unfortunately sometimes when you're picking one, another one will fall down.
This one.
Oh, that's a lovely one there. Yes.
There. Let me see what you got. Oh, that's quite a lot now.
Okay, I haven't finished, but I've got quite a few. And we're going to be carrying on now off camera, doing our harvesting. And we'll come back ready when we're ready to start thinking about preserving. We've harvested our apples, and now we've brought them inside, and we're going to think about storing and preserving them. We're going to demonstrate the three methods that we use for storing and preserving our apples. To begin with, you're looking at a tray of apples that we have prepared. This is the way that we store a lot of our biggest and best apples. We have a cardboard box, and the apples have been put with packing paper in between. If you don't have proper packing paper, you can use newspaper as an alternative. This box of apples is now going to be put in a fairly cool place. We normally leave them in the garage, and they should last quite a long time. Because they're all separated, they're not touching. If one apple does start to deteriorate, it's not going to spread to another. So the first method then, we put them in the boxes and store them like this. Our second method of preservation now involves using the dehydrator. Here we've got a dehydrator, and we've treated the apples to begin with. We have sliced the apples. We've actually done this using a food processor, but you can do it by hand if you prefer. So there are 4 trays here of the sliced apples, and now we're going to turn on the dehydrator, and we're going to start to dehydrate them. You can hear now that the dehydrator has been turned on, and we're starting the process. The apple has been sliced, and it's been soaked in a mixture of fruit juice and water for 5 minutes to treat it, and now it's been dried and it's put into the machine. It's set at 48 degrees for 5 hours. We're testing it along the way, but hopefully after a period of 5 hours we should have some lovely chips, some lovely slices of apple. The third way in which we're going to preserve our apples is by freezing. Our apples are going to be sliced and they're going to be treated in this water with this syrupy solution, and they're going to go into bags for freezing. Nige at the moment is slicing some more apples. This time it's got to be by hand because the slices need to be a little bit thicker. And so Nige is slicing the apples, thickly sliced, putting them into the solution, the syrupy solution, which will help prevent the apples from browning. We're on now to the blanching part of the process. The apples are going to be blanched for 2 minutes in boiling water. The apples have been blanched for 2 minutes, and now they're going to be cooled. Cold water is going to be poured over them to cool them. After being cooled, the apples are now transferred to a bowl. Now that the apple has cooled, it's going to be transferred to bags and is then going to go into the freezer. So, just to complete our video then, we have our 3 ways of preserving apples in front of us here. We have the apples in the box that are going to go into the garage. We have the apples that have been sliced and are being dehydrated, and we have the bags of sliced apples, thickly sliced apples, that are going to be frozen. Those are our 3 ways of making sure that this winter we're going to have some apple that we can use. We're particularly aiming towards having plenty of apple for February 2023, and we're taking part in the $50 challenge. We're trying to ensure that we have lots of lovely apple ready to keep us going during that month. Thank you ever so much for watching our video, much appreciated.